Hello, Lakers Nation. My name is Trevor Lane, senior writer for LakersNation.com, and today we're talking about free agency. It's just a few days away. It's almost here. Thank you, Uptime Energy Drink, for keeping me rolling through this crazy summer. By the way, you guys can find some at 7-Eleven, GNC, and Amazon.com. But free agency, the Lakers are going to have the opportunity, Rob Pelinka is going to have the opportunity to build a team around LeBron James and Anthony Davis. We don't even know for sure how much cap space they're going to have just yet, but bottom line is the opportunity is going to be there to build a contender. So exciting time. Today, we are breaking down the top 5 point guards the Lakers could target in free agency. So let's dive right in. Number 5 on the list, Darren Collison. You might remember him from his days at UCLA, spent last season playing with the Indiana Pacers. He is a veteran at this point in his career. He's going to be turning 32 in August, so that might be reason for pause right there. But you know what? You're probably not offering him a 4-year deal or anything like that. He's more of a guy that you can probably pick up on the relative cheap, and I'm not saying he's going to cost nothing. He's probably going to cost you a decent amount, but you're not forking over max dollars or anything, so you're going to have enough money left over to spend elsewhere if you target a guy like Darren Collison. Now, the age is a little bit of a concern. Defensively, he struggles there due to his small size, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot to like here. If you're going to build a point guard to put alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, what's the first thing you're going to be concerned about? Shooting. And Darren Collison can do just that. He was in the 94th percentile last season per synergy as a spot-up shooter. That is elite. That means that as LeBron draws attention, as Anthony Davis draws attention, they kick out to Darren Collison. He is going to knock down shots, and he shot 41% from 3 last season as well. Tell you the other thing that I like about him, he is a very, very careful ball handler. So he's a guy who doesn't make a lot of mistakes. In fact, last season, he led the league among starting point guards in assist to turnover ratio. So he's not going to kill you by turning the ball over. Look, Darren Collison's not going to take over games for you or anything like that, but he's going to be a steady, solid point guard and maybe what you really need out there with LeBron and Davis. Number 4 on the list, Patrick Beverly. That's right. Patrick Beverly played for the LA Clippers this last season. Look, I know you probably groaned when I said it because he's the guy that you love to hate. He's the irritant. He's the guy that gets under everyone's skin. But I'll tell you what, you love him when he's on your team. He digs in defensively on every single possession. He can knock down threes. He actually hit 40% last season. He's a 3-and-D point guard, which you don't see very many of. That's pretty much all he's concerned about is playing defense and then spacing the floor a little bit on the other end. He's not the kind of guy that's going to go run an offense. He's not the kind of guy that's going to try to break his man down off the dribble all the time or take a bunch of pull-up jumpers or anything like that. He pretty much wants to space the floor and cast some threes. In fact, more than half of his shots were threes on the offensive end. And then on defense, he wants to make life hell on whoever he's guarding. And that can be a real nice fit with LeBron James. But I'll tell you what, there's some cause for concern here. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are pretty high on Beverly and think the Lakers should go after him. But a couple of things. First of all, he's 31, okay, or he's going to be turning 31 at the beginning of July. And as you get older, defense tends to drop off faster than offense. And so if Patrick Beverly's defense dips, and it actually dipped a little bit last season, so maybe we're starting to see the beginning of a downward slide. If his defense drops to even average levels, his offense isn't good enough to really hold him up. So he wouldn't really be a useful player if his defense drops off. So there's some concern there. Additionally, he's made comments to TMZ recently about wanting to get paid. And hey, that's fine. He wants to secure his family's future. More power to him. This is an opportunity for him to go get a big contract, and I think it's going to be there on the market this summer. But if you're the Lakers and you're trying to build a roster on a pretty tight budget, given that that LeBron and AD chew up most of the cap space, you're probably going to want to target guys that are willing to take a little bit less in order to play for a championship contender. And it doesn't sound like that's Patrick Beverly. Not saying he's a terrible option. I think he's actually a very good option, great fit-wise, if you can work out the contractual stuff. Okay? Number 3 on the list, guy that I didn't expect to say at all. A few weeks ago, I would have told you there was no way. That bridge is burned. It's not happening. But Bleacher Report's Eric Pincus mentioned the other day that D'Angelo Russell would consider rejoining the Los Angeles Lakers if he hits unrestricted free agency, and that's key. Right now, he will be a restricted free agent. He was an all-star last season with the Brooklyn Nets, and they'd probably like to keep him around, except They're going after Kyrie Irving. If they go get Kyrie, the rumor is that they will cut Russell loose. They'll make him an unrestricted free agent, and they will have to make him unrestricted if they try to land a second star. They'll need that cap space. So if Russell becomes an unrestricted free agent, that would mean the Lakers or any other team can go try to sign him, and they don't have to worry about the Nets matching. So why would the Lakers go after D'Angelo Russell, given their history and everything? Well, few reasons. First of all, the guy who got rid of him, Magic Johnson, is no longer there. So that kind of clears things up a little bit for him. He also was in the 37% from three and was in the 82nd percentile as a spot-up shooter. So he can play off the ball. In fact, we saw him play off the ball a little bit during his final games as a Laker. Jordan Clarkson was actually the starting point guard, and Russell played the two. So even if LeBron is handling the ball a lot, you're not completely eliminating Russell's usefulness. I think he can be a better defender than what he's shown too. A lot of people forget that he's 6'5", so he's a big guard, but he has a 6'10", almost 6'10" inch wingspan. So I think his defensive potential really hasn't been hit just yet. So I think he has another level that he can get to there. And of course, we know his scoring and passing ability is pretty high. So Russell would be a real nice target for the Lakers, especially at 23. His prime would line up with Kyle Kuzma. And then we're talking about sustainability. We're talking about a team or a franchise that has really good players lined up even after LeBron has sailed off into the sunset. All right, number 2 on the list, Kemba Walker of the Charlotte Hornets. So Kemba has said all the right things about returning to Charlotte, but he made third-team All-NBA, which means they could offer him a Supermax deal. Now, do you want to do that to a 29-year-old Kemba Walker, give him a Supermax? I don't know. I'd be a little bit nervous about it. So if the Hornets don't give him that Supermax, does that then open the door for another team to sneak in? Look, the Hornets haven't made the playoffs in 3 years. Their roster is pretty much stuck. If they re-sign Kemba, they are capped out for a little while here. They're not going to be able to put pieces around him. Does he then start to look elsewhere? Okay, and that's where maybe the Lakers swoop in. He would be a real nice fit alongside LeBron and AD. Averaged 25.6 points per game last season. That means this guy can get out there and score the basketball. He's actually a much more efficient scorer than he was when he came into the league. He can light it up, and you're going to need that. There's going to be games in the season where LeBron's resting or AD is resting or whatever, and you need somebody who can get in and carry that scoring load, and Kemba Walker certainly can do that. Now, he's 29. He's small, he's 6'1", and he relies on his athleticism quite a bit to get his shot off. So you got to wonder, what does that contract look like in a few years? But still, he's so good. He's one of the best point guards in the league that you probably go ahead and fork over the max for him, which would be a $32 million contract if the Lakers can get to that. Number 1 on the list, run it back. Number 1, Kyrie and LeBron 2.0. Kyrie Irving, top spot on this list. Yes, he's rumored to be Brooklyn bound. Sounds like he's going to be leaving the Boston Celtics. Sorry, Celtics. He's going to be leaving the Boston Celtics, probably head to the Brooklyn Nets, but not a done deal. Never know. Might be able to swoop in there and steal Kyrie Irving. Why should the Lakers sign him? Well, quite frankly, look, there's fit issues. There are. He's a guy who needs the ball in his hands a lot. He's not a lockdown defender like Beverly is. Because of that, does he really fit with AD and LeBron? It kind of worked in Cleveland because Kevin Love took kind of that third role, was kind of took the back seat to Kyrie and LeBron. So Kyrie's usage rate was actually still really high, even though he was playing with LeBron. Is that really going to happen with Anthony Davis, though? Is Anthony Davis going to take a backseat? Probably not. So Kyrie's got to be a little bit questionable in that regard, but his talent level is so high. He is the most skilled player on this list. He has the best ball handling of anyone in the league. He is tremendous finishing at the basket, shot 40% from 3 last season, and a lot of those were on difficult looks. He can knock down free throws, can get to the line, no problem. And at 27 years old, his prime lines up perfectly with Anthony Davis. So even when LeBron is done, you've got 2 superstar level players here. Kyrie gets the nod just because of his overall talent level, even if the fit isn't quite as good as some of the other guys on this list. All right, so what do you think? Should the Lakers go after Kyrie number 1? Should someone else be number 1 on my list? Is there someone I left off? Let me know. Fire it off in the comments. Give me your thoughts. I'm going to respond to a few of them and let you guys know where I'm at. I'm curious to see where you're at and who you hope the Lakers walk away with at the point guard position in free agency. Also, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you get notified next time we have a new video, which we're going to have one coming out tomorrow, actually, on the top 5 shooting guards they could target. We're going to be doing 5 videos this week, one for each position that the Lakers could be targeting in free agency. So be on the lookout for that. And make sure you head over to LakersNation.com, your home for everything Lakers. See ya.